This is a statue of Major Lemuel Montgomery, the man who Montgomery County in Alabama was named after. And I'm going to the Horseshoe Bend military site where he is buried to visit his gravesite. This is the famous Horseshoe Bend Military Park where the Battle of Horseshoe Bend was fought in 1814. And pretty close to where most of the fierce battle took place is the final resting place of Major Lemuel Montgomery, the man who Montgomery County, Alabama is named after. Major Lemuel P. Montgomery. He acted with the greatest gallantry, March 27, 1814, leading the charge on the Indian defense. Major Montgomery fell while storming the log barricade. Horseshoe Bend was his first battle, but the 28-year-old Tennessean, already a distinguished lawyer, was among the most promising of Jackson's officers. Montgomery County, Alabama was named in memory of Major Lemuel P. Montgomery of Virginia, who fell at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend on March 27, 1814. A statue in honor of Major Montgomery graces the entrance of Montgomery County Courthouse. He was one of the first Americans killed in the Battle of Horseshoe Bend in the War of 1812. On March 27, 1814, Andrew Jackson, with a force of 3,300 men, consisting of Tennessee Militia, United States regulars, and both Cherokee and Lower Creek allies, attacked Chief Menawau and 1,000 Upper Creek and Red Stick warriors fortified in the Horseshoe Bend of the Tallapoosa River. The Red Sticks were trapped and slaughtered, ending the Creek War in the treaty that followed. The Creek lost 20 million acres of land, half of what they claimed. When the battle was ended, Andrew Jackson stood over his body and wept. He exclaimed, "I have lost the flower of my army." At the time of his death, Major Montgomery was only 28 years of age. His eyes were keen and black. His hair was of a dark auburn color. His weight was 175 pounds. Height was 6 foot 2 inches. His form was admirably proportioned, and he was altogether the finest looking man in the army. There has been a number of inquiries in regard to the exact location of the grave of Major Montgomery, who was killed at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, and later on his remains were removed to this place. After the recent cold weather and rains, a place sank down in the front yard of Mr. A.H. McClintosh. Tradition says that Major Montgomery was buried in the yard, but there was not a thing to mark the grave. Some old citizens said the grave was at the end of the yard. Others said it was in the front yard. The cracked place in the earth was in the walk from the grave to the door, 10 feet from the gate and 15 feet from the veranda steps. Mr. J.A. Hoyle, Mr. A.H. McClintosh, and myself dug down into the place and soon found it to be a grave. We dug on to the bottom and found the bones of a human skeleton. Many of the bones crumbled as soon as they were touched. The bones best preserved were the two femurs, clavicles, superior maxillary, humerus, teeth, and portions of the skull. Tradition says that Major Montgomery was the only person buried anywhere about the place, so the remains are undoubtedly those of the brave Major. The Alabama Historical Society and a Monument Association have made several efforts to obtain some information in reference to this grave. Mr. Hoyle, Mr. McClintosh, or myself will cheerfully give any information we can give on this matter. Yours truly, W.G. Carrollton. The bones found that day, believed to be Major Montgomery, was moved to Horseshoe Bend Military Park to be buried, where he remains today. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.